Hey, Dale the librarian here. I've switched my head to the other side of the screen if you've seen the other videos, and I put on a sweater because it's cold. So how would you add a chapter from an electronic book or a chapter from a print book? And how do we ensure that something is going to be requested to be scanned or anything like that? There's some things, I think they were designed to be clever, but they're kind of hidden in the menus. So let me show you how to wend your way. So kind of like just stumbling through it sometimes helps. Trial and error, they used to call it. When you click on Add Items and you do Library Search, I would say have the library catalog open so you have some of that data in case there's any questions going on. The course materials, when it's hooked up in this way, does go directly to the catalog and it will search in the same way, but sometimes it's helpful to get that data. So I'm going to look in all resources, but I could say books, articles only, if it helps. It's pretty reliable. I did a search already for a title and I found Rhetoric on Guns is an electronic one that we've got. And sometimes there's a print one that shows up and sometimes there's an electronic one, but usually it'll say, e-electronic. Here's the thing. When it's at the bottom of your screen and you click on it, sometimes you don't see this right here. So if you scroll up, you can see this is what's going on. It's like, oh, what week do you want? I'm going to add it to week 1, but I'm going to do add and edit. And this is where you would put in notes to the students. So for an electronic book, the student would see the interface where they would just click on it and they'd be sent straight into the book, not the chapter per se. So you'd have to put in a public note. This should be like student note saying, read chapter 3 this week, and you can write whatever you want. This is what the students see. When you go down, my screen is too big. You can have like the display, how long this is displayed. I would typically leave it open all semester so students could go back and read, but if you've got like a huge list, sometimes you can help students manage it by having some things appear and have some things disappear at different times. You can edit all of this stuff. Oh, cool, it's a U of U or Utah State University. When you click Save, you'll see the book get imported in. Oh, I thought it was going to magically show up. I didn't open up week 1. There it is. So there it magically shows up. And here you can see that note. When you're a student, if you click on this, it should send you right in to the ebook itself. And now, of course, it's not doing it. Oh, there we go. View online. It depends on the interface, but here's the ebook. So the students have to look it up, and they can go straight down to chapter number 3. So there's that one. Let's close this one. How do we add a chapter from a physical book? So I looked up, and this was kind of fun. I was like, oh, what's something really old from the library catalog? And I got this book on rhetoric. I don't know if you can see. It's from like Brown University and Harvard authors. And it's been checked out a ton of times. And it's from 1905. It's really glorious. It smells really good and all that. So I know from this one that I want students to read Chapter 3, Section 7, Fallacies Due to Errors in Reasoning. But I don't have the pagination for it. So that's just the table of contents. So if I had the book, I could look that up. But I think that people are rather kind and logical in the course reserves, and they can deal with like a partial citation. I speak on their behalf. Let's see what happens. So again, library search. And I've got the principles of argumentation. I'll do books again. Principles of argumentation. 1905, physical copy. Here's one of those hidden things. When you click on this and you assign a week, it's like, well, when do they ask me? When you click Add and Edit, this is where it will pop up and it'll say, hey, if it's more than a chapter, you'll have to put it on physical reserves due to copyright law. So that'll be this one. And then you can say, well, I don't want it to circulate. There's book scanners there. Or I want it to circulate depending on these different things. But due to fair use and copyright, we can scan one chapter. And it says in some cases. So generally, you can do one chapter. And you can say what the pages are. but you should be able to reach out to your librarian or to the library and say, hey, I don't know what the last number was, or I didn't know what the ISBN was. I think this was the name of the chapter, and you can add those details along in there. So I'm going to say 148 to 175 and confirm. Okay, so it hasn't gone in quite. Oh yeah, here's where you could put in that note. Here's the deal, is you can click save, but until you go up and click on library review, that request won't get pushed through. So if you're building a list and if you're building it for spring semester, make sure just give the library time to scan things if there's things to scan. Or if there's things that you want purchased, you can throw items in there via the other menus. But give people time, because when you click library review, then it'll be pushed, and then they'll be scanning and putting stuff in this same context. As always, this has been Dale the Librarian. You can reach out to me at dale.larson@utah.edu.